Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 4th of April 2019. So the pound up yesterday, coming off the highs though before the close, but up again as you can see on the overnight. And this is due in part to this. We've got no deal Brexit ruled out as MPs delay bill by a single vote. So it could be one vote that sees Brexit never coming to fruition there. So an interesting development. And also the Project Fear Boy was out last night. Barmy Carney, you know my feelings about this man, and if you look at the comments on this page you'll see I seem to be not the only one who has the same opinion of him. So he was out giving it the fear factor last night. But what was interesting was this line here, which I've said a lot of in the Market Alert about. I cannot understand why the pound is holding when we have this so-called constitutional crisis. Any other time it would be selling off, and it's not. But what was interesting here, it says there are lots of things to worry about in the event of a no-deal Brexit, but the financial sector is not one of them. And that's probably because, as I've said, the Bank of England are holding and supporting the pound at the moment, which isn't a bad thing. It's just making it very difficult, I'll be polite, to try and trade it. As you can see yesterday, the market becomes range bound, and during this calamity that is Brexit, with holding the market in a range, it's making it very difficult to get any decent trade since we've gone into indicative votes and all the rest of it. Quite interesting. So yeah, it's above the 200 bar moving average in the 15 minute, also the 50, the DP level, and the 20 bar at the moment. We just had a bit of buying in there. Well, we'll see how it pans out, but at the moment the pound has lost its fizz due to I really believe that there's something going on here, because it just doesn't make any sense how this market's sitting above the 200 bar moving average. When we had the referendum, it fell out of bed, and then there's been all of this scaremongering after the referendum. The pound was going to go to parity and this, that and the other, and the pound did move lower, and there we go, we proved our point. And then of course none of it came to fruition. But now we have a genuine potential crisis. The market's being held up. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. News today. Well, there isn't any. So, again, I would expect this market to react to what it sees and hears from the mainstream media and whatever they need to do in order to move prices back up to these sorts of levels. Anything I would do here is say on the buy side, you can't help but thinking about the buy side at the moment, is watch out for the market getting through the 131.98 level, 132 level. See how it fares once it gets through here. So keep an eye on that. And the Dow for yesterday, interesting picture here. There's hardly any volume in this market at the moment. A bit yesterday on the upside, just remove that, you see there. But finding resistance here at 26,278. Again, there's no reason for this to be moving higher, but it is, and that's easy to manipulate with the plunge protection team as well. So yesterday, about 130 point range again in the pre-market session. Not a lot for yesterday. This market at the moment also waiting for news. Trump's trade deals being postponed with China according to Zero Hedge until 2025, and the market stuck in a range. Market gapped up in the early hours. This was on the news of Trump's postponement, and there you can see prices have been sideways ever since. So interesting times at the moment. The market's trying to find a direction, one being supported by the Bank of England in my opinion, and the other being supported by the Fed to keep it on the highs. Meanwhile, in Bitcoin, this managed to make a new high yesterday, but was met with some selling. And again, according to an article on Zero Hedge, the current move is down to the BitMEX exchange, where we get the data from, saying that there was a short squeeze, and the short squeeze is where anybody that is short, you can see where the majority have been short, then somebody starts to buy and the pressure gets more and more, and eventually as they all switch out of the short position, especially at the bottom of the bear market, this accelerates the momentum to the upside. And what's interesting about this as well was this last line here. It says, meanwhile, for those curious what the recent surge means for the future of crypto prices, with both spot up and volume up, the probability of Bitcoin rising above 10,000 by September is now 11% versus 4.2% of last week. So we'll see how that comes off as we go through the year. But yeah, interesting. We seem to have broken out of this sideways move now. You can see there the profit taking there. And you'll always get this as you break out of a bear market, because people are unsure, is this the end, or are we going to go back down and retest the lows? But at the moment, it's holding up very nicely. Again, there you can see the profit taking overnight straight down to the 200 bar moving average, and prices starting to move back to the upside once more there. Let me just have a look at a bit more detail. You can see yesterday as well, the market starting to put this momentum in that I spoke about yesterday. We need to see this that we're seeing on the overnight markets in the day sessions. It seems like Asia are having a lot more fun on this at the moment than the West. So you can see there, they also were the ones where it caused the breakout. That's in the article as well. And then prices moving higher. So it looks like we've got room for a bit of a move to the upside there. I'm just going to adjust the line thickness there just to make it a bit easier to see. There you go. So we'll reset this. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. So yeah, upside potential is certainly looking a lot more favorable in this market. Watch the 200 bar moving average in the 15 minute. If prices come back down and test it, you can see how effective it was here, and also above the 200 bar in the 4 hour and also in the daily now as well. And that's the thing that the article kicks off with, is about the market being above the 200 bar moving average, which you can see there for the first time in a year. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know, but no economic news today to move the market, so we are going to be at the mercy of whatever is thrown at us. It could be fairly quiet, it could be one direction. Who knows what's going to come out of Parliament, and what, I say, as far as I'm concerned, what the Bank of England allow with regards to the movement of the pound. But for me, that one is never right, given what we've got going on at the moment. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I'll let you know. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.